Hello and welcome to the Grand Prix Cleveland Championship match. There you get a good look at Bill Tsang. Describes himself as a two-color kind of guy. Drafted red-white aggro all day today, but here in the top 8, he opened Shu Yun. So some exceptions were made, and it's red-blue with this two-color aggro deck. There you get a look at Jake Mondello. Jake is first pick Typhoid Rats, wound up in Sultai. What do you think of his deck?
Well, his deck is a lot different, though we did see a pretty assertive performance from him in his semifinal match. But his deck is a lot slower. He's going to be a speed or a speed and a half slower than what Bill's doing.
Look at Bill Tsang, just Valley Dasher enters the battlefield tapped.
And this is his comfort zone.
Yeah,
We've seen Bill Tsang just turn into the red zone repeatedly against Andrew Cuneo in his semifinal match, just like this.
Dash out the Mardu Scout.
He's dashing it out.
Gotta get an attack in. Gets Icy Blasted.
Wow,
Still return to
Mondello,
hand.
very aggressive. Icy Blasting the dashed creature just to save 3 damage.
Well,
Like, he just traded a full card out of his hand to save 3 temporary damage. He's seen enough of what
yeah,
Bill Tsang's
exactly.
up to, and he knows that there's a lot more to come where that is too. I mean, we saw multiple active treasons from Bill Tsang. He even comboed off and played active treason and collateral damage against Andrew Cuneo. So
earlier in the day, by the way, he pulled off active treason targeting your Hooded Hydra, 5U, collateral damage, make 5/1/1s.
oh, I just shivered
Go.
when you said that. That's disgusting.
It's apparently on mono red this game, though. Can I block that? Yeah, all right, fine. You got me.
Wow, Mardu Scout just continually being
It's Mardu Scout with buyback.
hasted
Mardu
out
Scout
here.
with the buyback. Hasn't gotten through that much damage, though, in the grand scheme of things. Things look okay for Jake Mondello.
I'm just surprised that he just keeps jamming it with haste every single time. There, he finally slowed down. I guess he doesn't have anything else to do with his mana. His mana curve is very low.
If he can get through for damage, crunch. I mean, it feels like he's been on the aggressor here, even though he's on mono red so far.
Oh, he's definitely the aggressor, though. Things may have slowed down now, as Jake is going to do a play that I love and you don't see often enough. He's going to attack, but before damage, he's going to play Dragon Scaled Moon to get in for 5 and leave himself with a 3-powered blocker behind. That way you get all the damage in and still have the blocker. Sure, you lose the surprise factor, but right now, he'd rather just take a huge chunk. I mean, it's worth weighing those out.
Oh, active
no.
treason.
You're playing right
5,
into it.
6, 7,
Don't
8,
do
9,
it, Jake.
10.
10 you down to 6.
He doesn't have another collateral damage, does
Don't
he?
do it. Okay, he didn't have it.
Just 10.
You know, but else, he could just be saving the other active treason and a collateral damage for next time. This is going to be a hunt the week from Jake.
Oof.
Now, how brave are you here? Are you going to attack? Can't do it.
No, no way.
He has left himself dead to active
Mardu Scout.
treason.
Keeps coming. There's another red card in that hand, too. I mean, obviously, he's done all of this with one color.
Yeah, it's only one color. He is very heavy red.
This Fire Weaver
I mean,
is going to attack
he's
this time.
playing 3 Mardu Scouts. Those were his 4th, 5th, and 6th
An
picks of the
island.
draft.
Now what? I would like to attack you. No.
Wow.
Tap 1, kill 1.
That's a blowout. Not only from tempo, but also just completely killed one of his best threats. This could be turning back towards Jake Mondello here, though I'm not counting Bill Tsang out. He has had some furious finishes. Look at those aggro gears churning in his head.
Place the island just says go. His hand's moving too fast. I haven't really gotten much of a look at what's in it, what might be in it.
Yeah.
This Fire Weaver, ooh, crippling chill.
Now, this is interesting. Jake can actually counter this with a Teamer Charm.
It totally should, right?
He might be. It depends. If he does, he gets to crunch for 6 and set up lethal next turn. So the question is, does he have a chance to die here? If he doesn't, he could also just let that happen and continue to develop his board if he has any other plays. He's got 5 cards in his hand. So
what do you do?
Man, I'd probably counter it. You're not dead to a dashed in Mardu Scout.
Right.
It's going to take something pretty impressive to
it's
actually
gonna take
kill
4
you.
damage.
And I just don't want to give my opponent any draw steps, so I would probably just
Agreed.
counter, crunch, say go, and just look away.
Looks like Jake agrees with you. Pay 3 more, please. Can't. All right, take 6 then.
And just ship it back. So
Yeah.
he dies to a few cards here that Bill could have, but he's got to. That was it. Or
What?
what just happened?
Didn't he draw Active Treason? Oh, he's got
it either
Aerostorm.
way. Okay, he's dead to Aerostorm either way. So interestingly,
He's dead to Aerostorm. He's dead to Active Treason. Bill Tsang just had both.
He had both.
Had both.
Wow, I was going to say that was exciting because he just drew the top deck win. Well, he already had it.
Hilarious. Our score's backwards, right? Bill won, didn't he? Yeah.
Bill
okay.
Tsang won that game.
Wow. There you get a look at Bill Tsang. 21 years old. Flew here from British Columbia.
So he's from Vancouver.
He's from Richmond, but close enough.
Oh, Richmond. That's 20 minutes outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we pass by Richmond when we drive there to cover GPs and PTs. Up there.
Absolutely. He gets to fly home and play the hometown GP now. The hometown PT now. Pro
He
Tour.
does, doesn't he?
Pro Tour Magic Origins is what he's now qualified for. Essentially a hometown Pro Tour for him. Seemed pretty excited about that. Played Mardu and Sealed. Usually a 2-color guy, but Archfiend of Depravity forced him to make some sacrifices, added into the red-white shell. Red-white aggro to 6-0 the drafts. What are you most looking forward to in Dragons of Tarkir? Red cards.
That's what he said.
That's what he said, red cards, with an exclamation point.
Plays one way. I like it. He certainly seems comfortable with all the interactions
yeah.
and stuff. You can tell he's been drafting a lot of aggressive decks.
Jake Mondello, 18 years old, from Waterford, Connecticut, lists his previous Magic accomplishment as forcing Ross Merriam to listen to Shake It Off on repeat for over 3 hours straight. Something to be proud
This
of,
might
I guess.
top that.
Maybe.
I
Certainly
would
happy
venture that
to-
this tops that.
Earn his way to the Pro Tour, too. Sealed deck was black-red splashing white with 2 Mardu rune marks. His 2 previous drafts today were both 4-color, not red, with Abzan Ascendancy. So he's going to mix it up. He's going to read. You see here he wound up in Teamer. His draft went Typhoid Rats into Cloud Form, into Right into Being. Took a couple of lands, took a Hunt the Week, took some more lands. Opened Mistwire Weaver. Wow, didn't play his first pick in the Pack 3, which was a dead drop.
Must have thought he could sneak in a splash for it and never really ended up happening. His deck doesn't look great, to be honest. He's got some nice highlights, but this isn't one of those like everything came together for me type drafts, but it's definitely got the tools. Question is, can he keep the raging tide that is Bill Tsang at bay?
Seriously.
I mean, the thing is,
Humble
Jake knew
defector?
from the very get-go exactly what the name of the game was.
Don't take damage.
He
You're going to
burned
die
an
to
Icy Blast to not take 3.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to be in Active Treason or Aerostorm range. What about both? What about 3 of the above?
Yeah.
Face up Monastery Flock. I'm blocking. Alright, take some damage.
Bathe in Dragonfire? No.
Get a Marty's. He does have one in his hand, doesn't
Yeah.
Bill Tsang?
He's going to build out his board here. I like this line from Bill. That Monastery Flock is just going to have to do work here. Ooh. Is that what I... You know what?
What?
I think he's got to Hunt the Week here. And Hunt
Jake?
the Week... Yeah.
Pretty good on this board.
It's great. He gets to kill a creature and leap back a 1/6. It's a fantastic blocker against all of the X1 creatures, the 1 toughness creatures that Bill's playing. Also, the coast is clear. There's nothing
Right.
for just blue that's going to get in the way outside of a counterspell, but that's
Wow,
not...
I would Hunt the Week there.
I would too. Though this does leave him with 2 great blocks anyway.
Alright, Bathe and Dragfire goes to the long shot squad. Bill not too worried about the 0-5.
Stubborn Denial's off the table here too, so now the coast is clear if Jake doesn't have anything better to do to just Hunt the Week on the Mardu Scout. And I like doing it while the coast is clear. Like, that's comforting.
Oh, yeah.
And he does just that. Wow, Jake looks to be in good position here. Stabilized at 19 life. And facing down just a 2-1 from Bill Tsang. And interestingly, the Monastery Flock with its defender is just a horrible target for Active Treason. Yeah.
Marty Scout.
Ooh.
Oh. 2 spells that turn.
The second one, quite important. It's a 4/4, but
6-4 for
Not a
Jake
bad
Mondello,
call, but-
Avalanche Tusker. Can force any creature to block. It's a 13th pick, Stone Retainers. Made the cut.
Aerostorm killed the Avalanche Tusker. Interestingly, it still seems like this doesn't open up any attacks thanks to the 1 power on the Monastery Flock. It's huge.
Definitely.
If that's an 0-5, he's taking 5 damage that turn. If it's a 1-6, he takes 0.
Summit Prowler.
That's the top end of his curve.
And a Leaping Master.
All right, so everything's down.
Bill Tsang is Hellbent. Playing off the top. He's got 5 creatures.
Feels like Hellbent describes his Magic playstyle and number of cards in hand right now.
He would have liked Rakdos. He was probably about 12 back then.
I don't know if you heard, but they brought it back.
Yeah. More Marty Scouts.
He's got
All right.
3.
So how many tricks does Bill Tsang actually have? Aerostorm, Crippling Chill. Let's get a Singing Bell Strike.
He's got an Icy Blast, which would just about lock this thing up if he drew it.
Wow, Active Tree. He got past Active Trees in 14th, straight into the deck. Last pick of the draft.
Wow.
In the deck.
Geez, that literally last pick?
Literally the last pick of the draft. 14th card from the second cons pack. He has 2 total Active Treasons in his deck. Yeah, Icy Blast could be good. He first picked a Mantis Rider. He didn't play any of his opens in cons. First pick Mantis Rider, but he didn't splash the white. And then first pick Scion of Glaciers and
Just decided
didn't make the cut.
Wanted to be 2 red so he could support those Mardu Scouts.
1 collateral damage to go with those 2.
Now I'm assuming the Shu Yu and the
Active
Silent
Treason.
Tempest he picked first overall.
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of headlining his deck here, really. It does feel like Bill's an Icy Blast away from taking this thing down.
Yep.
He would attack for 18. That's just 1
That's
hit.
all?
Yeah, that's just 1 hit. He would also get to do it again.
Yeah, even gets the Ferocious trigger from the huge Stone Retainers.
Yeah. Yeah, the Summit Prowler triggers it too. He's got redundant.
That's much less exciting.
Okay, Icy Blast for Jake.
Yeah, speaking of. Is that all of them?
It's all of them. He's doing it for the full 6. Tap your entire team.
Humble Defector's going to draw some cards.
And that still is not going to untap during
Right.
somebody's next untap step, right? Here we go. During its next untap step, I suppose. So this could clear the way for some pretty nice attacks here. This is 9, though Bill Tsang sitting at 20 means it's not quite lethal. But I think Jake has right into Bean. Highland Game is what was turned down.
Sure.
That's good. It's also lethal. Bill saying if he has nothing in hand is dead, but
He has Hordling Outburst. 3 more guys.
that was well timed because he didn't have anything else. And those goblins are absolutely going to keep him alive here and probably make this game go a lot longer than it was just planning to.
Yeah, it's not clear he'll even have to chub block with a goblin. I mean, he's at exactly 19 power now. He replaced Humble Defector with 3 goblins, so Icy Blast is now lethal. If it
Jake could
resolves.
consider cashing in the Humble Defector himself.
True.
You know, if he feels like he needs to go for the win right here. Oh, he's reaching for it. Could also just be attacking with it.
How often do you humble defect? Do you just draw the cards and give it back when they give it to you?
Look, I think he's trying to figure out a way if he can win the game right now.
Did he draw Dragon Scale Boom?
Yeah, and I think he might have Water Whirl in his hand.
Wow.
Doesn't have enough to do both.
Well, Dragon Scale Boom means Icy Blast is no longer a lethal top deck for Bill Tsang if he leaves it up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I think you just crunch with the big ones.
And
Let
Bill,
him
Bill,
chump if he wants to. Oh, he's
actually
going to
gonna
double block the Manifest?
trade. Yeah, and the Manifest can flip up and gain a couple of life and still trade for both.
Sure. Seems like a good play.
Yeah, Highland game. You can also save it. This does not play around Icy Blast.
Really?
Yeah, this is all before damage. He decided actually to do it to the Feral Crew Shot?
Oh, it tramples
Does it
from the
have trample?
Tuskar
Of course
Captain.
it does. And still before damage? Is he going to flip up?
Interesting.
Oh,
Rather than saving the Manifest, because he wants the Manifest to die?
he doesn't mind. It still trades for both tokens and it gains him 2 more life.
Sure.
So how much did he take here?
A bunch?
Down to 1. Wow. Down to 1, up to 22 for Jake. And that's not going to do it for Bill Tsang.
Draw 2 more. Humble Defector. Save me, Humble Defector.
Huh.
See an Arrow
He
Storm.
found an Arrow Storm, but now all of a sudden the Crew Shock's out of range.
Yeah.
And it is going to just absolutely run over Bill. He's going to have to throw probably his 2 biggest creatures in front of it. Toughness is not Bill's strong suit.
No, well, he needs to attack with something because he wants to trigger the raid on Arrow Storm. And then
Why?
If
To kill the
he,
Tuskar
to kill the
Captain?
Tuskar Captain, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, getting the 5th point of power kills the Tuskar Captain. He has to throw that away to do it. But killing Tuskar Captain means Crew Shock no longer tramples.
Exactly.
So now he buys himself a couple of turns. And he can even, I think he'll gang block.
Oh, yes. I mean, he could throw Mardu Scout on it. That would kill it.
Sure.
Huh. This has been a really interesting game. It's so ever present how threatening Bill Tsang's deck is.
Right.
You know, Jake wants to try to close this thing out
Jake's
as
at
quick
20
as possible.
and he's
but
like,
can't.
all right, I got to make sure my Highland game dies.
Right.
Not going to save my creature.
Yeah.
I'll just use Dragon Scale Boon to get into 2 damage on the guy that's already winning his fight. Well, and therefore give it trample.
So,
If only Monastery Flock could attack.
yeah. So if he's got Water Whirl, he can bounce small creatures and force Bill to block with big creatures. That is the old off-color Leaping Master there.
Yeah, no white mana anywhere in the list, right?
Mm-mm. Is he going to cash in this Defector, or are they just sort of locked into this loop now?
Well,
The last
okay.
person to activate it has more cards than the, than the other person. He's going to be patient. I think he wants to activate Defector, see what he gets on end step here, and then maybe go for the Water Whirl plan.
It takes on 1 card in hand and it's Water Whirl.
I believe so.
Bill Tsang scopes out the board. Act of treason on the Humble Defector. Jake's trying to figure out what is that? Seems like it does something cool. What happens now, Marshall?
Well, he gets to activate it. Jake does.
Yeah, that part seems. You can only do it during your turn, so no, he
Yeah,
doesn't.
I mean, Bill gets to.
Right.
He does have to give it back, right? So he's just doing it to cash in a couple of cards here. That
Water
was Water
Whirl.
Whirl.
Hilarious.
He does it in response.
Bouncing the Humble Defector.
Yes,
and the Summit Prowler.
and effectively keeping Bill Tsang off of those 2 cards. But
so Active
giving
Friesen's-
him a Humble Defector.
Active Friesen's job there was draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Or get your opponent to discard a Water Whirl.
That's interesting. Jake's drawn Teamer Charm. Man, he really wishes he would have known that. That thing was coming. He would have been able to Water Whirl away the 2 big creatures, and then use Teamer Charm's less played last ability. Creatures with power 3 or less can't block this turn, and attack potentially for lethal here. Even if there was a trigger on the Bloodfire Expert in response, one of his other creatures would get in.
Still continuing to activate Humble Defector as soon as
And
he can.
steal it back again.
Pretty funny.
I mean, one of the cards that he gets goes away, he gets a couple more. There's nothing much that Jake can do here, you know, without using his Teamer Charm on something. He can have it fight like one of the Mardu scouts and just kill them both.
Sure.
Seems pretty reasonable. He could even just have it fight the Summit Prowler. It seems better than letting him have it and draw 2 more cards. This is a headache. look at Jake.
Like, how is my opponent just out card advantaging me here? Somehow I'm down to like 3 creatures. He keeps playing more.
He just said fine.
All right.
And there's 2 more cards again. Well, when the dust settles, Jake gets to untap with the Defector again, so he can actually use it. Wooly Loxodon off the top for Jake.
Is he just going to draw?
He's going to activate it, and then with the ability on the stack, he's going to
Sure.
have it fight the Summit Prowler.
+1 and fight.
That dies, and I draw 2 cards. That's nice.
Yep.
Oh, we found a Misfire Weaver.
That has flying, doesn't it?
Confirmed. He also has enough mana to play it face down and protect it, at least on Bill's turn. So if he goes for like a Bathe and Dragonfire or something along those lines, he can save it. Doesn't have quite enough mana to play both morphs and protect them, but he only needs 1 to get through. This is a big turn here for Jake. If he gets to untap, he's going to be in great shape.
Smoldering Freet while you're at 1. Hilarious. The fight would now have been lethal.
All right, Jake. It's time to go for it. Flip this face up.
Have
Give
a
it
flyer.
hexproof. Does it resolve? It does. If that ability resolves, that should be game.
That should be game. Jake Mondello forces game 3.
Whew.
He seemed scared the whole time. He never went below 20.
I would be too.
Maybe he got to 19 once? Felt like the whole game was high teens and mostly over 20.
He got to 19.
He did get down to 19,
Yeah, he got
right.
cracked down to 19 once.
And it was still scary. It was still like, oh, what if he top decks Icy Blast? What if he like active freezing collateral damages?
I love the back and forth with the Humble Defector there.
That was fun.
It's like active freezing. I'll just borrow it. I'll give it right back. I promise. Cash it in for 2 cards. Send it back.
Now we play 1 game for the Grand Prix Cleveland title. Both these guys have already gotten themselves qualified for the Pro Tour Origins, Vancouver.
Feels like Bill Tsang's deck is just the scariest, and this actually feels like a reasonable matchup for Bill as well.
Does.
Jake doesn't really have any reliable ways to gain life. You know, there's no Obzon guides floating around in his list. And Bill, I mean, I think he wants to play against Teamer more than any other deck. Teamer puts out huge, beefy creatures, and those are, slowly, and those are ripe for the stealing.
Ripe for the stealing,
Yeah.
ripe for the tapping down.
Yes. Yes. You know, Bill doesn't want to see Hordling outburst, right? You show him that card and he's just miserable. But you show him a Feral Crew Shock and I think he's actually just happy. Like, you've given him another attacker and you've dumped 5 mana into one card, which just makes his tempo plays that much better. The funny thing is, I mean, I wonder how many Goblin Heel Cutters Bill Tsang has run on the weekend without having any in here.
All of them.
Yeah.
Does not look like a man that passes Goblin Heel Cutter.
No.
He even shuffles quickly. Bill Tsang will get to be on the play. And I'll have to see what happens. It does seem like Bill's advantaged matchup-wise.
It does.
He's also on the play, which is an edge in general, and I would think an even bigger edge for Bill with this deck.
For sure. His deck's also quite consistent.
Yes.
Though I have not seen a mountain, and he got there at the
saved
very
by
end.
the last card. Draw goes from unplayable to good. Thunderlord falls, gains a life. We Valley Dashing.
Here we go. That Valley Dasher could get in for... Cancel that order. 2 damage.
And a trade. Now a Bloodfire Expert. Just putting the pressure on Jake. You better play a blocker every turn.
See if Jake's up to the task. Oops.
No blocker for
No
Bloodfire
morph?
Expert?
What is he? Is he gonna?
Is it just 3?
Is it Teamer Charm in his hand? Like, he's got to do something for this turn, right?
Summit Prowler.
Nothing.
Wow.
Holy smokes! This could be over quickly
Yeah,
if
he's
Jake
got a
doesn't
4
get
and a
something
5.
going. Oh
And this land
no!
comes into play tapped.
Oh, okay.
A Winter Flame.
He's found a Winter Flame, so that's going to keep him at 17 and take out the Bloodfire Expert here.
Tap kill. That works.
Hordling Outburst.
Makes...
Oh, shoot!
no. Shuyun, the Silent Tempest. The first pick overall in the draft that got Bill Tsang to walk away from the red-white aggro that had 6-0'd him the Swiss rounds of today.
Is there an act of treason in the future here for Jake?
Let's see, Crippling Chill.
That works too. Oh,
Wow.
a rare
Max
trade
willing
offer.
to trade. Yeah, you take it.
Jake
Do
can't
not decline
wait.
trades if you're Jake. That was trading and playing Bloodfire Expert is better than playing Crippling Chill there?
I can't imagine. I mean, even then, I think you just play Bloodfire Expert and pass. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that many things that can trade for the Summit Prowler. You know, there's a lot of morphs and smaller creatures that just get trumped by it. Okay, that was nice.
Yeah. Longshot Squad and a Highland
It was
game.
a really good turn. Bill wants to find another land so he can Crippling Chill and pay for Shuyun.
Is that why he waited on the Crippling Chill?
Could be. Maybe a little greedy. I'm not sure. I mean, he's still developing his board and moving things forward, but...
Yeah, he just goes ahead for it now. Wow. That's the Highland game.
Did he hit the land? No. Jake's just got to take the trade here, right?
Yeah, I think whenever trades are offered, Jake should just take them.
That does seem to be the baseline plan.
The alternative is taking damage.
Yeah, taking damage, and then what is his plan otherwise? Is it to start leveling up, you know, start outlasting that thing? That's just too slow. Yeah, I like that block. Crippling Chill has the Highland game on ice.
Writes that manifest into play.
And puts a card on top of the library, too. This deck.
All Valley Dashers,
too
all the
good.
time.
That's the third Valley Dasher.
Oh boy. Dragon Scale Boon on Highland game.
Holy smokes.
Picks off a Dasher.
Wow, this could be the turn that costs Bill Tsang the GP here.
You think?
I mean, that was big. Jake Mondello is now at 17 with a good blocker facing down only one creature. He's going to need to find some more action. He can't keep flooding like this, but that was huge. Bill's got to run out of gas. It feels like he never does. Cancel that order. Let's see if this actually happens. Water Whirl,
wow.
Bounce both creatures. I like that. That's sweet. Though it is going to downgrade the Highland game to just a normal one. Uh-oh.
Avalanche Tusker joins the Highland game.
Wow. Okay, maybe this
Jake
was the
Mondello
turn.
has gone on the offense.
Yep.
Bill Tsang can feel the GP starting to slip away. He won the first game.
Must block. That thing forces a creature to block.
Target creature must block.
Yeah, it doesn't have to block the Tusker, it just has to block something if there's other creatures coming through.
Horribling Outburst makes 3 goblins.
So Tusker gets to just start eating tokens here.
I would think so. Highland Game's going to watch for a couple of turns. Well, Highland Game's going to get in there.
Oh, I'm surprised it attacked.
Yeah, I think Jake's just willing to trade it for a token and gain 2 life.
Gain some life and get up. Oh, he has another Dragon Scale.
Jeez.
Well, so much for that whole trading thing.
Active Treason your Tusker.
And then he can make
He
the
can make the
Highland
Highland
game
game block.
trade for it.
Yep.
Okay, we've got a game here.
Wow. Active Treason
Jake's out of cards, right?
Wow.
That's huge here.
That Active Treason is a dead drop.
Yes.
It's destroy both your creatures.
Yes. Holy smokes. He gets in for 1, but Jake's going to gain 2 back.
And a second spell for the turn, the
And
Heatstone
a big
Retainers.
one.
5 power all of a sudden for Bill
Holy
Tsang, and
smokes.
Jake Mondello is playing off the top. Crunch, take 5.
And remember Shuyun hanging out in his hand? He's still there.
Still there from the Water Whirl.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Did this just slip away? That was collateral damage for Bill.
Take 8.
Collateral damage. And give double strike.
Take 3, double striker, Huge Stone Retainers is up to 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 14. You got anything, Jake Mondello?
And he doesn't. I think
Or
he's
is
just
Bill
got a
Tsang
Teamer
won the
Charm.
Grand Prix? There's 3 mana available to pay for Teamer Charm. Oh, the hesitant handshake as he realizes he's lost the Grand Prix. Congratulations, Bill Tsang is your Grand Prix Cleveland champion. Wow.
Great stuff. Great stuff. That was
Yeah.
the most back and forth pendulum swinging match we've seen today.
I agree. Little red deck that could. Red decks all day, all weekend long. Just
Look how
drafting
happy
the red
Bill
decks.
is.
Playing him 2-color aggro.
No, I didn't think I could win.
Yeah, it is a very happy Magic player.
Is it because you drafted this?
Good for him.
Good for him. Congratulations to Bill.
On day 2, can you walk over here?
Soon we're going to get him in here for an interview. I can get out of your way.
I think that they'll grab him.
Wow, a lot of good, interesting storylines this weekend.
Tons of stuff. This GP ended up being awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Good players up and down the tournament. Bunch of people making runs to top 8. We got Yuya Watanabe and Andrew Cuneo. Their match was insane. And Andrew Cuneo may have lost in the semifinals of this GP, but for the rest of his life, he's the guy that got to Howl of the Horde a Jeskai charm for 12.
He comboed off about time. Bill, hell, welcome. Come back in here and we'll get a microphone on you real quick. I'll give him this one. That way you don't have to mess with it, Randy. Did they give you a trophy?
No.
No trophy yet? All right, sit down here, Bill.
Yeah.
And let me put this microphone on you so everybody at home can hear you. There we go. Bill, welcome to the booth. You are our champion here in Cleveland. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Why don't you talk us through the last game there? We were, watching it from the booth, and everybody was watching it at home, and it was super exciting, up and down. Talk us through that game.
Well, I didn't think I was going to win that game at all, and I thought he had I didn't think his last card was anything big, but it was a 6-4, and then I just went to block the 2-1, but he +2/+2, which was really good for me because I drew Act the next turn,
and then you were able to use your active treason to kill both of his creatures somehow.
Yeah.
And then you even got to play Huge Stone Retainers after that and put the pressure on.
Yeah.
And up until that point, it looked like he was the one in the driver's seat. Oh, it looks like Chris Richter's here.
I have something to present to you. You stepped away from the final table.
Thank you.
For you right here is the Grand Prix Cleveland champion.
Why don't you hold that up for
Hold it
everybody at home so they
up.
can see it on the camera? There you go.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. You're from Richmond.
Yes.
I go there all the time. I eat there all the time. It's got the best restaurants.
Yeah.
What made you come out here for the trip? Have you been traveling to a lot of GPs?
I actually go to school in Waterloo, the University of Waterloo, so it's just a 4.5 hour drive, and I just came down with some friends.
You came down with some friends. Now this qualifies you for the Pro Tour very near your hometown.
Yeah.
Are you pretty excited to go home and play in the PT?
Yeah. I didn't really think about it before, but now
You just got to start thinking about it
Yeah.
now. Testing to be done, although it's
Yeah.
still a little ways off, so you got some time. Do you have a group of players that you play with up in Waterloo that you test with?
my local game store, JVC, and then my group of friends, LPC, and the guys I came down with. Yeah.
And they helped you prepare for the event too?
I guess I didn't really actually prepare.
You didn't prepare?
No.
You just came in and said,
It was-
I like red cards, I'll start turning
Yeah,
them
my friend
sideways."
just asked me to come with him, and I didn't really want to come at first, but then I just,
You better buy that friend dinner
Yeah.
or something. You got to say thank you.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about these red cards that you like so much. We saw you getting in there. We have your draft sheet here.
Yeah.
Mardu Scout, Mardu Scout, Mardu Scout, 4th, 5th, and 6th pick. Talk to us about that.
Well, what got me here was I was 7-2 the day before, and then I 6-0'd today, playing 2 color decks, so I wanted to stay kind of with that. And I just feel like, because it's double red, it's underappreciated, and I knew I wanted to be an aggro deck, and well, the judge behind me told me it was an interesting draft, so I knew it was going to be like a first round exit
Or you could take it all
finals.
the way.
Yeah.
It's always like that, right?
Yeah.
Now you were playing red-white in the drafts in the previous today, but you opened Shu Yun the Silent Tempest, so that shifted you over to red-blue.
Yeah, because he's still an aggressive card, so.
Yeah, very aggressive
Yeah.
card actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your all-star card for the weekend?
It was actually active treason, collateral damage.
You comboed off
Yeah,
on people?
and especially in this draft, I got one third pack last pick, and I was really happy with that.
Oh, we saw that. It's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
the last card you took in the
I-
draft, right into the main
I
deck.
actually took active treason over Aerostorm because that's how highly I valued it, and then I wheeled it, and then
you got it last?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Bill, congratulations again.
Thank
You
you.
are our champion here in Cleveland. You get to take the trophy home, and of course, we'll see you at the Pro Tour. Are we going to see you at more GPs now? You going to start
I'm
traveling, or is
not
it school
sure.
for
Yeah.
you? You're not sure yet?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll keep our eye out for you. So it's time for us to go here from Cleveland. We had a great weekend, a stacked top 8, a lot of cool decks. We saw some really aggressive stuff. We saw some more controlling stuff from Gerard, and we finally have our champion here with Bill Tsang. Congratulations. But for now, it's time to go. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We certainly appreciate you taking the time to watch Magic with all of us. So for Randy, for BDM, for Rashad, everybody else on the coverage team, judges, for TJ Collectibles who put on the event, and everybody else here in Cleveland, we'll see you guys next time. Wave at 'em.